All right, so let's take a look at 8 psychological traps in home buying and how to avoid them. Oh my goodness. So, our brains can sometimes trick us into buying a home that doesn't fit our needs. I know I've done it and it stinks. I don't want it to happen to you guys. So, following these tips can help you minimize buyer's remorse. So, if you've ever made an impulse purchase, you know what it feels like to have your brain seize up. I've done this with cars, done this with houses, and focus only on the shiny thing in front of you that you must absolutely have. That shiny thing is a coach you can't afford. The consequences of overspending to buy it are probably pretty small, right? It's just a coat or a purse or whatever. But if it's a home, however, you could end up spending a lot of money in a place that doesn't fit your needs. It's one reason why it's important to be aware of some of the psychological traps that can drive decisions that defy logic when viewed strictly through the lens of rationality. So, those traps can lead to buyer's remorse, which is surprisingly common among home buyers. You think, like, how do you buy a multi-thousand-dollar item and go through the whole process of finding it in inspections and appraisals and all that kind of stuff and still stumble into it? Well, it's easy to do because it is, oh my gosh, of all shiny things, right? Houses are the biggest shiny thing, right? So, according to a Zillow survey of buyers in 2022, 75% of those who had successfully purchased a home in the past 2 years had at least one regret about the home they bought. Those regrets range from underestimating the amount of yard work to failing to consider the location of the bedrooms. So that seems kind of minor to me, but so here are some common traps and tips for avoiding them. One, overconfidence. You find a home online that seems perfect and you spend an hour lingering over the photos and the 3D home tour. By the time you arrive for the in-person tour, you're already in love. I do this every night. I tell my husband, "Oh my gosh, this is the one. This is the one." I'm driving him crazy, but it's easy to do, right? Some of those pictures are even doctored up. You can tell they're, touched up and photoshopped, and it just looks amazing. So you get there, you're already in love, so much so that you start minimizing some of the obvious problems. We do this in relationships, maybe too, sometimes, right? The crack in the foundation, that looks pretty small. The watermarks on the bedroom ceiling, probably just an old leak, and so on. You utter the words, "We can fix that so easily," and so often that your partner starts to worry. That totally happens to me. If that's you and you're not a contractor, you've fallen into a trap of overconfidence, being so optimistic that you downplay the possibility that anything negative could happen from buying a home that needs more work than you can reasonably pay for or tackle yourself. You watch one too many episodes of Fixer Upper on HGTV, and you can think, "Oh, I can fix this. They can, I can," right? So, how to avoid this trap? Get a great inspector who can find significant problems in the home and give you an idea of what it will cost to fix them. And obviously your agent may also have a stable of experts that they can call to give you an idea of what might be involved in repairing some of these problems. So, neglecting the future you. What in the world does that mean? It sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie. Let's say you're a newly married couple buying your first home. You don't have kids or pets or a bunch of stuff. So you focus your search on homes that fit your current lifestyle. In doing so, you discount the future, giving more importance to your current needs than what you might need in 5 years or so. It's how your life's going to change, right? You're going to accumulate stuff. You're going to need more storage. You're going to need bedrooms for those kids, a yard with a fence for the dog, and all these kinds of things, right? So, how to avoid this trap? Think about the future you and what your life is likely to look like in 5 years. If pets or kids are in your plans, or if a relative will be living with you maybe at some point, factor them into your thinking now, unless your plan is to move again to accommodate expected changes in your life. Now, it's possible to do that, right? But just go into it with some intentionality, planning that, okay, this is going to work for us for 2 to 3 years, and then we'll have to start over again. No problem with doing that either. So, 3, failing to negotiate. When homeowners list their homes for sale, the listing price typically reflects what they hope and expect to get in their current market. As buyers, that's the first number you see, and it may not determine whether you'll even consider the home. This trap is called anchoring, a tendency to use the first number or piece of information as the baseline for decision making. But in certain markets and during certain times of year, it may be possible to negotiate a lower price if the fall, especially in the fall home shopping season. Holy cow. So fall home shopping season, right around Christmas and Thanksgiving. So you get an idea of what it is I'm saying, that I'm mangling these words. Okay, for example, the market is slower and sellers tend to, cut their prices on homes that have lingered on the market, right? The summer is over, kids are going back to school, we're thinking about the holidays. In the fall, that's when it happens. You can maybe get a better deal. So, how to avoid this trap? But lean into your agent's local expertise to find out whether price cuts are common in your market. You also can explore whether a seller might be willing to discount the price in exchange for something else they value, such as maybe a rent back agreement where they get to stay in the house and rent it from you. And that might give them extra time and breathing room to shop for their next home, get their move done, get whatever it is they need to get done. And they may value that so much that they drop the price for you. So, 4, acting impulsively. Don't do this, guys. When competition for homes is fierce, buyers need to be prepared to act quickly to make an offer on a home they like. But acting quickly when you've worked out your own buying budget, determined what's important in a home, and obtained a pre-approval from a lender is not the same as acting out of a sense of urgency solely because homes are in short supply, also known as FOMO. You've probably heard this, right? Fear of missing out. It's everybody wants this house, I must have it. I do this too, and it may not be the right house for you. So, how to avoid this trap? Do the groundwork for buying, starting with getting your credit in good shape. Work with your agent and loan officer to understand the market, what you can afford, and what home features will best suit your needs. So, 5, ignoring information that challenges our beliefs. This is known as confirmation bias, and it involves ignoring information that doesn't conform with our existing beliefs or putting greater weight on information that confirms what we already believe, right? I think this, I saw an article, my parents told me this is what I believe, but it may not be right. It may not be correct. So don't ignore, again, I'm going to repeat it. Number 5, don't ignore information that challenges your preconceived beliefs. For example, if you held firm to a belief that interest rates would drop dramatically this year and put off buying a home based on that belief, you would be paying an even higher rate today. How to avoid this trap? So stay up to date on market trends and tap your agent's expertise. Even experts can sometimes predict the market, say with certainty what's going to happen, or interest rates or home prices. Instead of discounting information that challenges your beliefs, seek it out. Do your research. There's tons of YouTube videos on the financial, aspects of people that have different sides. Watch both sides and think for yourself about what may happen in the future. No one has a crystal ball, right? But seek out that information. Learn for yourself. Seek it out, factor it into your decisions. Okay, 6, getting stuck in the past. Imagine you're shopping for a home and your fond childhood memories are so powerful, they prevent you from even considering a different style of home than the one you grew up in. You spend hours in search of the perfect replica, ignoring your partner's pleas to compromise, and at least tour some other homes. So, how to avoid this trap? Think about how you want to feel in your home and what you can do to evoke those feelings. It may be that certain paint colors or tile or layout of a home will be enough to recreate that nostalgia that you're seeking. I know I do that too, but 7, fixating on one thing and losing sight of the big picture. So many of us know the feeling of getting so attracted to something that we ignore or minimize some obvious red flags. For instance, you may fall hard for an outdoor kitchen in a home that has a yard requiring a ton of upkeep. So you hate yard work, but you buy the home anyway, thinking, well, the yard won't be a big deal. And then you find yourself mowing for an hour every weekend and watching other people go out boating or riding bikes or motorcycles or doing fun things, and you're mowing the lawn in the heat. Yikes. Hey, it may be worthwhile to you to do that. You may be able to hire somebody to mow your yard, but just take it into consideration that it's there and it's going to need to get done. Or maybe you get so fixated on the thought of your kids or your pets having a yard to roam, that you may not fully consider what it might be like to commute an hour to and from work. Are you really going to be okay with doing that and all the stop and go and the tolls and the gas and all that entails? Weigh that stuff out in advance. Don't, make an emotional decision. So how to avoid this trap? Make a list of what you want. There's another video on that, how to make that wish list and must-have list. The list of what you want and what you don't want in a home before you start shopping, before you even start looking at Zillow or talking to a realtor, and stick with it. Having a cool outdoor pizza oven, or a bit something I would love to have. Having a cool outdoor pizza oven or a big yard isn't going to make you suddenly love yard work or commuting long distance. It's not. So 8, moving ahead with a purchase because of the money and time you've spent finding it. Oh gosh. It can be crushing to find a home and discover after you've written the offer, applied for the loan, ordered the inspections, that the home has a flaw that cannot easily be remedied. Heartbreaking. But you may even think that you'll never find another home after looking for so long. Not true. How to avoid this trap? Take the long view. Imagine living in the home 5, 10, or even 14 years from now. Is that flaw going to drive you up a wall? Probably. If the flaw is expensive to fix, think about the other things you'll be giving up just to fix it, right? Emotions and logic. Home buying can be a struggle, right, guys, at times because it requires us to reconcile our heart and our mind. Giving yourself guardrails and accessing good information can make reconciling both your heart and your mind easier. The great thing about making decisions is that ultimately you're the only person who can know what's right for you. Trust your gut. If you've done all the work, asked the right questions, relied on correct facts, listened to trusted advisors, and determined the degree of risk involved, chances are you're well on your way to moving forward in the next chapter of your life. I so hope so for you, and I would love to be alongside of you. Chris Parrish at Revolution, who's the sponsor of this video, he would love to walk beside you in this process. So do check out the link below in the description. You can set up a time to talk with him. You can see his phone number is right there on the screen. He's willing to text and talk with you and email with you. He'll pick up his phone. He is there to help you out with pre-approvals and pre-qualification and whatever it is you need. He's got a lot of different programs to offer and a lot of expertise. Thank you so much for watching. Please do hit the like button, subscribe, watch the next video. I like to pray for wisdom and discernment. I don't know where you stand on that, but for sure that's what helps me. Don't rush into buying a house because it's what you think you're supposed to do. Don't do it because it's going to impress your friends or you're going to keep up with the Joneses, so to speak. Take the time to weigh the pros and cons, do your research, and make the choice that's best for you guys. You don't know me yet, but my name's Cindy Fessler, and Chris Parrish, who is the loan officer that I work with. We want to help you to make the best decision. We're going to help you to figure out what it is exactly that you can afford so you're not stressed, so that you don't have to make a tremendous amount of sacrifices to have your dream of homeownership become a reality. So there's information in the description box below. And if you're watching this video from your TV and you can't see that description box, you can go ahead and scan this little QR code. Just take your phone and take a picture of that QR code that you see right there. That will take you to Chris's calendar where you can schedule a time with him. And you'll also see his phone number. You can text him, you can call him, reach out to him, talk to him, see what you can afford. Let him especially help you with making this happen, guys. That's what we're here for. We don't want to talk you into it. We've been doing this a long time. He and I have both been in the business over 20 years. We've got 40 years of combined experience in all the different aspects of this industry. And so we can help you to make that happen. We can recommend real estate agents to you. And no matter where you are in the country, hey guys, we're in 46 states. And that is also listed in the little description there. So we're in all but just a handful of states. So we can help you out. So love to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching this video. Stay tuned. There's going to be so much more information down the line.